More moves incoming as the Avs are linked to an NHL superstar. We are just 2 days into UFA season. A lot of free agents being taken off the market and signed to new deals with new teams. The Avalanche have stayed busy, made some signings with players that are already have been on their roster, getting rid of some players as well, seeing them take their skills to other organizations for more money. And just 2 days in, a lot of crazy signings happening for Colorado, and they eye a potential superstar that is still available on the market and has narrowed down his final teams as far as where he wants to go. And Colorado, one of the names on the list. We're going to break down everything around this free agency speculation today, right here on Avalanche Digest. Welcome in, everybody. Mark Robinson with you today. Happy to be breaking down everything going on in UFA offseason for the Colorado Avalanche. It has been a busy day already, not just for the Avs, but for the league in general. A lot of people being signed to new teams, taking their skills elsewhere. Corey Perry going to LA, Mikael Granlund going to Anaheim. Just a few of the crazy deals that have already gone down. Tons of UFAs being snagged off the market. And we're 2 days in, and there's a few names that are still looking to be snagged off the market. One of them in particular could land with Colorado. So let's dive into breaking down this UFA potential signing and how this player might land in Colorado. Before we do so, I want to quickly remind you guys to make sure you're subscribed to our channel here on YouTube. 89.4% of our viewers on a daily basis not subscribed to the channel. Join the Avs Digest family. If you love the Avs, if you love hockey, this is the best possible place to get the quickest, most consistent, most digestible content about the Colorado Avalanche, all the most relevant news and rumors and updates and opinions about Avs hockey. We're breaking it down here every single day. The channel is growing fast, so join the early community while you can. We appreciate each and every one of your guys' support. Thank you so much for the support as usual. Without further ado, let's dive into this crazy rumor that may have Nikolai Ellers landing with the Colorado Avalanche. So, according to a social media report from Avs Insider, there's a speculation around the league that Nikolai Ellers of the Winnipeg Jets has narrowed down his list of potential destinations as a UFA to sign with a few teams, including the Carolina Hurricanes, the Washington Capitals, and of course, the Colorado Avalanche. All three of those teams reported in the mix of his final potential landing destinations. These rumors do remain unconfirmed, but they're coming from valid sources such as Elliotte Friedman, Frank Saravelli, also in the mix of these conversations. But Elliotte Friedman made a report that him and his agent are close to making a decision, and it's most likely going to be between these three teams. Other sources such as Yahoo Sports and Sportsnet have also reported on this exact same topic as far as that these are the final three potential landing destinations for Nikolai Ellers, who comes from the Winnipeg Jets, a player that the Avs have seen quite a bit over the last few years. He's coming off a large contract, which will break down the details of that previous contract in a second. But obviously, the Avs playing the Jets 4 times a year in the regular season as they reside in the Central Division as well. And last season, or I guess 2 seasons ago, technically, since we are in the offseason, the Avs playing the Jets in the first round of the playoffs and defeating them in 5 games. So a lot of Nikolai Ellers showcasing his talent against Colorado specifically. The team is familiar with how he plays as a left winger on kind of the 1 and 2 lines for the Winnipeg Jets. Safe to say that he would be a massive addition to the Colorado Avalanche. And as we've talked about, some other people reporting on Nikolai Ellers and where he will potentially land has yet to make a decision. This is as of this morning at 29 years old. He's a really strong point per game left winger who's been very strong for the Winnipeg Jets over the last few years. In his final decision, he looks to potentially sign a deal with the Colorado Avalanche. Take a look at some of his season stats over the last few seasons. In the 2023-24 season, he played in all 82 games. He had 25 goals, 36 assists, tallying for 61 points, playing left wing for the Jets. Really strong season, able to get 61 in 82, a lot of assists. Just an all-around really strong offensive player, able to score over 20 goals as well. And then you look at his season stats last year playing for the Winnipeg Jets as well. 69 games, was not able to play a full season again, missed a handful of games, but still well over the halfway mark. Did a really good job playing the majority of the games last season, 24 goals, 39 assists. So he was one short of tying himself for goals scored in a regular season, but he's able to get 3 more assists, and he's able to get a stronger year over these last 2 years. 63 points on the season for Ellers in the 2024-25 season. So safe to say he's a really strong top 6 left winger, primarily kind of mixing on the first and the second line, all just depending on coaching decisions and where he's being put and placed as far as offensive production goes for the Winnipeg Jets. But a really strong left winger, someone who is able to generate a lot of offense, a really strong playmaker as he primarily is succeeding in the assist column, something that the Avs could really benefit from as far as their depth and their offensive roster goes. His last contract that's ending as of this summer, a 7-year, $42 million deal with the Winnipeg Jets, which expired at the end of this season. This deal was about a $6 million AAV. It included that $42 million guaranteed, and now he's a UFA as of the end of this season. So in this longer contract that he's coming off of with the Jets, the conversation revolves around whether or not he would be getting more money or less money than the $6 million AAV with the production that he had for the Jets in mind. I would say it's going to be right around the same. You could see a little bit of an increase in that number, but depending on where Ellers wants to go as far as cap space goes with these 3 teams, the Carolina Hurricanes, who are also floating in that $6 to $7 million cap space available right now. The Washington Capitals have much more space available. I think they're in the high teens, somewhere like the $16 to $18 million availability. The Avs, on the other hand, after some of the players leaving over the last few days, as well as some of the signings that they've made, they float in the $7.5 million cap space availability realm. So if Nikolai Ellers is going to float in that $6 to $7-ish million realm, the question is whether or not the Avs front office and Chris MacFarland, Joe Sakic, all of those people, are they willing to spend almost the majority of their projected cap space available on this one specific player? And I think that it would be a strong source, or strong use that is, of the remainder of the cap space, using that money and putting it towards Ellers, a really strong offensive playmaker playing left wing for the Jets for the last 7 years. But it all kind of just comes down to what Nikolai Ellers and his agent are trying to get as far as financial compensation goes for a new contract. And I'm sure he's looking for another longer deal, another strong deal that's going to help him, feel strong about where he's landing in the long run. And another thing to consider too is where he would fit into this lineup, potentially slotting in on the 1 or 2, potentially even the 3rd line, potentially bumping Gabriel Landeskog down to the 3rd line and putting him on the 2nd line at left wing, playing alongside Brock Nelson and Val Nichushkin. And of course, these lineups would be jumbled around and messed with. You could see Arturi Lehkonen bumping down to the 2nd line, Ellers playing on the 1st line with Nathan MacKinnon and Marty Necas. And then speaking of Marty Necas, there's also the conversation as to whether or not he's going to stick around in Colorado. Is he going to get traded? Is he going to walk after next season when he becomes a UFA? And he's at a pretty strong cap hit as well, so you can think about how he may free up some money in the long run. But just a lot of speculation and a lot of implications thinking about where Nikolai Ellers would fit into this lineup, as he is a final top 3 choice as far as where he wants to sign in this off season. It's July 2nd. We're over a day into UFA season, and I can almost guarantee you that he's going to be off the market by the end of the day. So it's going to be really interesting to see where he lands, where he decides to sign. I guess there's maybe a small chance he returns to Winnipeg, but it's more likely that we're going to see him landing with one of these 3 teams, one of those teams being the Colorado Avalanche. So keep an eye out for updates regarding this, and just updates in general regarding UFA and free agency season. Really interested to see what the Avs are going to continue to do. They've already made some crazy moves over the course of this 24-hour period. Let's keep an eye on what they continue to do. We're going to report on everything here at Avs Digest. Thank you guys for your time. As usual, have a good one.